Howdy everyone, Poacher here with an Age of Magic video, and in today's video we are going to quickly go over what you need to do for the upcoming Lunar Festival raid coming to the game in February. This raid is what you need to complete to get the currency that unlocks Wukong. You get Wukong shards from it, and hopefully you can unlock Wukong if you don't have him. For a lot of players, you will probably have the chance to max Wukong. For a lot of players, this might be your first chance to unlock him if you haven't got lucky with some RNG from the Indigo Rune chest. So when this raid does come to the game, it is only limited time. It only comes out once a year and is the primary source of getting the Monkey King shards. So it is probably the one time of the year where you probably want to put as much effort into raiding as possible. I'm not saying spend money, I'm not saying spend gold, but really using your energy the moment you get it to clear these raids as quickly as possible. Because remember, if you're slacking, if you're letting the team down, you're affecting everyone else in your clan, and this champion is 100% worth getting. He is one of the strongest champions in the game. He does a lot of damage. He works in a few different teams, and I believe with the festival coming out, he will be gaining his leadership ability as well. Whether or not that will make him any better, or people will just use Roynar as the leader as a continuation from this point on, it is still yet to be determined. However, he's getting a leadership ability, so he could become quite useful. So definitely put in the effort, and you will be rewarded. Okay, so let's go over some important things you need to know about the raid. Number one being there are 4 levels of the raid. 1, 2, and 3 are fairly easy in terms of direction. You need a minimum of 5 to 6 players to complete all lanes, which means you have 4 to 5 floaters that can cover mistakes. There should be no reason your clan can't complete 1, 2, and 3. The only thing that would hold you back is the strength of your clan, or if you're severely lacking numbers. If you make a mistake having a full clan of 30 active players, then I would probably look into kicking some members and replacing them with ones with brains. The 4th raid, however, its difficulty ramps up tremendously. The reason for that is because even though you can see 8 lanes on the screen, you need 10 active players per raid. So that means you need a total of 30 active players. Every player in your clan needs to be active. Now, the reason for that is because lanes 1, 2, 7, and 8 need players that know what they are doing. If you have a player that makes a mistake, you are not going to get 100% in this raid. So let's look at this in reverse. This is lane 1, this is lane 2. The player in lane 2 is going to have to shoot up and go right and clear this node here. Now, this lane, if this player makes a mistake, it is recoverable. Players from lanes 1, 2, 3, and 4, they can shoot over and recover if this player accidentally goes forward. It's lane 1 that if these players make a mistake, you cannot recover from it. So lane 1 will have 2 players in it. Lane 8 will have 2 players in it. You're going to shoot up and then go right or go left. From here, you're going to go up again. If you have one player, either one of these 2 players go up by mistake, you've instantly failed the raid. There's no chance of you getting 100%. So both of these players need to shoot right or left, go up, and then they need to split again, ensuring they get every node along the way. It's these 2 nodes on the far outsides that will muck your raid up. If someone cannot get these 2 nodes or 4 nodes, you're in for a bad time. Now, the reason this is bad is obviously because this is a limited time raid. It comes around once a year. So having this mistake happen means that it is extending the time of your raid completion. It means you have to wait for the full 24 hours to expire before you can open the next raid and push through that one as well. Now, to be able to open up another raid straight away, you're going to have some whales in your clan. So making this mistake isn't going to be the end of the world. However, if you do have a clan that's completing raids faster than they are generating portal stones, considering energy as well, then this is going to set you back a fair bit. So please be mindful. If you are a clan leader, if you are an officer in charge of putting or spreading out your players, put players that know what they're doing in these 2 lanes or 4 lanes, because you can't afford the mistake. It's going to set you back a lot. The next noticeable thing about the raid is that this raid is neither restricted to light heroes or dark heroes only. You can use both. Light, dark, mix, do whatever you want. This is making the raid a little bit easier as well, because since a year ago, there are a lot of new characters in the game that make clearing raid slightly simpler. You have Wild Elves, for example. They do a mighty fine job at clearing raids. You put them on auto most of the time, they can take care of everything. A lot more people at this point in the game would have artists as well. The Golden Boys are always a pretty good team at clearing raids, especially if you use the old Immortality squad. The Artist, Sakrif, Tyros, Magnus, and Lucky. Great healing. Will probably clear most of these raid nodes, sorry. This picture as well has been taken from the Doomgates raid, so I'm not sure that the nodes will hold the same enemies as the Doomgates one. The Doomgate, however, is a copy and paste of the Lunar Festival, so the structure is exactly the same. I believe it's just the heroes that might be different. If not, all the easier. Everyone at this point, if you've played in the past year, have participated in a Halloween raid, so you are familiar with the structure and the heroes. The only reason the raid was difficult last time for the Halloween event was because you were restricted to light heroes only. So having the ability to use both light and dark does add an extra level of simplicity to it. The next thing to note, and this is for very old players, so a very marginal amount of players that I'm speaking to right now, the theme of the first Lunar Festival ever released is not carrying over to this one, which means there are no fireworks within the Lunar Festival event. For those that are unfamiliar, when this raid did first come out, it was actually quite difficult because there was an extra element called fireworks, where each node had enemies that had a buff that would trigger every X amount of turns, and to negate the buff, you would blast the enemy with a firework. Depending on the buff they had, depended on the firework you had to use. Unfortunately, they removed that, again making the raid pretty easy overall. So for those that were curious about are fireworks coming back, the answer is no. I have asked the dev team, they said no. If they do bring it back for some reason, I feel like they're just doing it to bend me over. But they have said it's not coming back. I'm going to stick to their word and hope that's true. I think that about covers all the major things about the raid. If you have access to Discord and you want copies of the map, ask in Discord. There are plenty of people that have versions of these maps out there. There are plenty of versions. I know Balrog from Pantheon has versions of these maps that are color-coded, showing you the routes that each player needs to take. Very helpful. Anyone from the Pantheon clan, I'm sure they will hit you up with them. There are plenty of maps out there that will be able to help you and your clan, so just ask in general Discord. Someone will reply. If you need help with teams, again, someone will be there. They will give you advice. Send a photo of your roster. They will be able to cover it. Sorry guys, I'm really tired. I'm just trying to get this video out in the hopes that you guys can start preparing. Any other things to note? The last thing would probably be, if you are in a clan that is going to be participating in the hardest difficulty of these raids, please be mindful. This is a raid that comes around once a year. It is giving you access to a hero that is highly sought after. I know raiding can be tedious. I know a lot of things in the game can be tedious, but when it comes to this raid, just put in a little bit of extra effort and help your clanmates, because it will help them a tremendous amount. This is a great hero to have, and it will make your account stronger. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll answer to the best of my ability. And wherever you are in the world, until next time, please take care of yourself.